Viruses, hidden soldiers revealing the greatness of the Creator and the secrets of life. Introduction. Between science and faith, a mystery invisible to the eye. In the depths of this vast universe, and within the hidden realms of life that fill our bodies and our planet, move entities so tiny that they cannot be seen with the naked eye, yet they can change the course of life entirely. Creatures that are not fully alive, nor completely dead. These are the viruses, those mysterious cells that have long puzzled scientists, terrified nations, astonished minds, and perhaps led some to wonder, could these invisible beings be a means through which God draws humanity's attention to the fragility of their existence and the precision of his creation? When we stand before a virus, we are not merely facing a health threat, but rather a scientific and cosmic miracle, prompting us to contemplate the Creator's power and the magnificence of the system by which he manages this universe. Every virus, no matter how small, carries a precise code, a complex structure, and an organized behavior that compels us to pause and ask, who designed this system? Who endowed it with the ability to adapt, evolve, and transfer? This article is not merely a scientific review of viral characteristics, but an intellectual and spiritual journey into the world of the unknown, an attempt to understand how the greatness of the Creator manifests even in his tiniest creations, and how genuine science inevitably leads us to belief in God, not denial of him. First, what are viruses? Viruses are microscopic entities invisible to the naked eye, usually composed of genetic material, either DNA or RNA, encased in a protein coat. They cannot reproduce or perform basic life functions independently. They must enter the cells of a living organism to hijack its biological machinery for reproduction. They exist somewhere between life and non-life, not classified among traditional living beings, yet not merely inert matter. Astonishingly, viruses cannot live or reproduce outside a living body, but once inside a cell, they transform into something akin to a machine, producing copies of themselves at an incredible speed, possibly causing deadly diseases, or sometimes passing silently without the host noticing. Scientists have long debated their classification. Are they living organisms or merely molecules? The prevailing consensus today is that viruses occupy a gray area between life and inanimate matter. This alone raises profound questions. Who designed this entity with such precision to be half alive? How did it learn to find its way to the cell and exploit it? Characteristics of viruses: a perfect system in a microscopic size. Despite their small size, viruses possess astonishing properties, making them among the most cunning and efficient beings in adaptation and survival. Among their most prominent features: rapid mutation. Viruses have an immense ability to mutate and undergo genetic changes, making them difficult to resist and posing a constant challenge in vaccine development. Smart transmission. Their methods of transmission vary among types. Some spread through droplets, others through blood, insects, or even simple touch, as if they know how to reach their intended target. Adaptation to conditions. Some viruses can survive for long periods outside a living body under harsh conditions, only to reactivate upon entering a host cell. Specialization. Almost every virus has a particular type of cell or living being it prefers to infect, suggesting a sort of code or guidance in its behavior, inviting deep reflection on the precision of this targeting. Are these properties not evidence that this creature, despite its apparent simplicity, carries within its structure a remarkably sophisticated system? Could such a system truly be the result of a blind coincidence? Third, the virus inside the body, a silent invasion and a hidden battle. When a virus enters the body of a human, animal, or plant, a hidden scenario unfolds, akin to a scientific espionage film. It approaches the targeted cell, uses special receptors on its surface to attach, and then injects its genetic material inside. At that point, the cell is hijacked and forced to abandon its natural function, becoming a factory that produces countless copies of the new virus. All of this happens initially without the host's awareness, sometimes even without any symptoms. Nevertheless, the immune system sounds the alarms, launching a frantic race between natural defenses and the invading entity. One side may prevail, or the entire system may collapse, depending on the virus type and the condition of the body. Perhaps the greatest revelation in this hidden struggle is the magnificence of human creation itself, the complexity of its immune system, and the virus's cunning methods of infiltration and disguise. This is not merely a disease, but a tableau of exquisite precision that cannot be mere coincidence. Rather, it is a testimony to the greatness of the Creator who perfected this delicate balance in every detail. Fourth, types of viruses. Astonishing diversity and remarkable characteristics. Viruses are divided into multiple types based on their shape, mode of reproduction, genetic material, and the organisms they target. Despite their great diversity, each type has precise characteristics that suggest a conscious and organized will behind this diversity. Among the most prominent types of viruses are DNA viruses. These enter the cell nucleus and use its mechanisms to replicate themselves. An example is the herpes virus. RNA viruses. These operate directly in the cell cytoplasm and reproduce rapidly like the influenza virus. Complex viruses. These include viruses that infect bacteria, known as bacteriophages, resembling a tiny spaceship that lands on a bacterium and injects it with its genetic material. Enveloped and non-enveloped viruses. Some viruses possess a fatty envelope that protects them and helps them infiltrate cells. These envelopes are acquired from the infected cells themselves, as if the virus disguises itself with the enemy's skin. Viruses that infect plants, animals, humans, and even bacteria. This widespread across nature prompts us to ask, what is the purpose of this diversity? Is it mere biological chaos? Or is it part of a precise cosmic system with wisdom and purpose? Fifth, viruses throughout history. From terror to discovery. Viruses have always been part of human history, for many centuries, even before scientists knew them by their current name. Mysterious diseases that caused terror, such as smallpox and polio, were known without identifying their cause. The real discovery began in the late 19th century when scientists noticed something smaller than bacteria causing illness, invisible to the regular microscope. In the year 1898, the scientist Martinus Beijerinck discovered the tobacco mosaic virus, the first virus officially identified. Subsequently, discoveries followed. Smallpox, one of the oldest viruses that infected humans, eradicated by science through vaccination. The Spanish flu swept the world in the early 20th century, claiming countless lives. Human immunodeficiency virus, AIDS, appeared in the latter half of the 20th century, changing perspectives on viruses, health, and social relations. Hepatitis viruses, measles, Ebola, Zika, and others. Finally, the coronavirus that swept the world in recent years, reminding humanity of its fragility, no matter how strong or knowledgeable it becomes. Isn't this journey with viruses, from terror to discovery, a clear proof that man is limited before creatures unseen? Isn't it a reminder of the greatness of the Creator, and that above every possessor of knowledge, there is one more knowing? Sixth, are viruses pure evil, or creatures fulfilling a function? Some may think that viruses are mere tools of biological destruction with no benefit, but the truth is that many scientists have begun discovering astonishing benefits of some viruses, such as they are used in gene therapy to transfer healthy genes into diseased cells. Some bacteriophages are used to fight harmful bacteria, serving as an alternative treatment to antibiotics. They play a role in regulating biological environmental balance by controlling the numbers of some microorganisms. They help in understanding genetics and cell evolution. Could it be possible that this tiny being, which we once thought of as pure evil, carries within it wisdom and benefit? Isn't that a reminder that God did not create anything in vain, and that behind every creature lies a purpose, whether we know it or not? Seventh, viruses and faith in God. When science leads you to the Creator. The deeper scientists delve into studying viruses, the more they find themselves facing a scientific miracle that cannot be fully explained materially. Complex structures, intelligent behavior, adaptability, precise codes, infection, exploitation, mutation systems. Can all this be a product of coincidence? Sound reasoning realizes that coincidence does not produce systems, and chaos does not create order. And what we see in viruses, precision, specialization, and functionality, must be the work of a wise creator who knows what he created, why he created it, and where its place is in this integrated universe. Indeed, the greatest biologists admit that viruses are among the most complex mysteries, and that trying to understand them inevitably leads to questioning the origin of life, the meaning of creation, and the source of order. And if viruses have exposed the fragility of man and his weakness before a creature unseen, then faith in God alone brings tranquility to the hearts and grants man a sense of security in the face of the unseen. Conclusion. In the smallest creature, the Creator manifested. In the end, we do not write this article to exaggerate the status of viruses, but to say that in everything God created, whether large or small, visible or hidden, there is evidence of his existence, a sign of his knowledge, and a fingerprint of his power. The virus is not just a creature that attacks, but a message from God telling us, contemplate, reflect, know your Lord. Will we grasp the lesson? Will we use science to lead us to faith, rather than to arrogance and rebellion? In this universe, even in the tiniest creatures, we find what guides us to the greatness of the Creator, and whoever fails to see him in the virus, perhaps will not see him even in the mightiest mountain. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share it with your friends, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel to get our latest videos.